There we go. And it's ready. And let me just tip this down there. Okay, so Abby really is not going to lead class today as much as she thinks she might be. Right, Abigail? I know, I know. All right. I was a little peeved with her last night. I'm in that place where you're just about asleep. And she comes running in the room. She jumps on my desk. She tries to get into that place, this big, before my window shuts. There is a screen there, but it's loose. So she's charging in there. She can't fit in there. She tries. The screen falls out. Big commotion. So I was like, oh my God. So anyway, we all calmed down and I retrieved the screen this morning, and whatever she was after, I don't know what, she runs between downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, upstairs when she's really excited. So anyway, we have forgiven each other. So, okay, great. Good to see you this morning. We'll come into our chairs and just begin to line our bodies up. This front protuberance of the hip bone right here, you can press in and find it. Lines right up with the femur into the knee, knees right over our ankles, and then we have our number 11s for our feet. And we'll come into the shoulders, just gently press them backwards, just a little bit, so that they line up right over the hips. And then we just have these free arms that we can place up or down on our laps. And just to settle ourselves in our chairs and to begin our time together this morning, we'll close our eyes. And we'll just begin to come into some deeper breaths. Just letting your senses become aware of your place in the room or outside, wherever you are. So you might be picking up extraneous sounds of your house or something outside of your house. You've got your sense of touch with your feet on the floor and seated in the chair. For the moment, we've closed our eyes, so there's nothing coming in that way. And we don't need at the moment sense of taste or sense of smell. Well, sense of smell could come in, I guess, a little bit, but this is just a way to begin of a mindful awareness of your surroundings. And then you can make a choice that you're not going to let yourself be distracted by the noises or other senses, other stimuli that you're getting from outside. And this gives us the opportunity to move inward a bit, to come to connect with our senses too. This feeling of the breath, the sound of the breath. And there may be a really pleasant other sound that you want to keep with you. You may also get a sense that your thighs are connecting more deeply to the chair, that your shoulders are back, that your back is connected more deeply to the back of the chair, that your feet are more grounded to the earth. And we keep this really nice light touch with the hands. So we have this sense of feeling through all the fingers, right down into the thighs, and feel that heat that is there. Let's just move the parts of our face around, widening your mouth, opening the eyes wide, then squishing, then kind of squeezing those eyes closed. Just see if you can move any and all parts of your face. Move your tongue around inside your mouth. And then let everything come to stillness. See if you can allow your lower jaw to be separate from your upper jaw. So it's in a nice relaxed place. As I always say, sighs and yawns are really good. It's an incredible release of energy that you may not have known you were holding on to. We do a lot of holding. It's a protective mechanism for sure. And then at some point, we need to let some of it go, or it will just build up to be too much. And that's when our anxiety tips off the charts. We may begin to feel physical symptoms. Letting go of that which you know you can do nothing about. And that which you can do nothing about, think about sending positive energy. If it's people, positive energy to people. If it's a place, positive energy to that place. There's also the practice of dedicating your practice, today's practice, any yoga practice, to someone or to something. Someone that is going through a hard time, someone who needs strength, healing, or even someone who needs to have their self-worth built up, their self-esteem. All right, and then with your next exhale, just let your head move down towards your chest. Let it be heavy. And after we've just listened to this idea of letting go, you can bring some imagery to it, the image of those thoughts coming out and being released. Like, for instance, I have a fan on here. I sometimes think about this idea that as I'm letting go of things, the fan is taking them away and sending them off. And now inhale and gently look up towards the sky. And release, let the head bow down again. And inhale, look up towards the sky. This time, just take your arms out and open up as you look up towards the sky. Shoulder blades reaching towards each other, palms are forward. And now take those hands right back down to your thigh, take your head down. So exhale it down, and then inhale, open. And exhale down, and inhale, open, and exhale down, and inhale, open, and hold. See if you can maybe bring your hands just a little bit farther back, so you're beginning to feel a stretch in the pectoralis muscles. And then just let the hands come down right at your side. Bring your head back to neutral, so you're looking straight ahead. And take your head, it doesn't matter which side you start with, looking to one side and then looking to the other side. So you could inhale to one side and then release it to the other side. You can make it slower than I'm going, you can make it faster. And notice, just be aware of what you're seeing as you look to each side. Pause at whatever side you're on now. And just take and tip the chin down towards the armpit. Take the opposite arm and just reach it back. Breathe into this stretch. And then let the chin circle downward. Come up to look over the opposite shoulder. And then take the chin, angle it down towards the armpit, and take the opposite arm. And bring it slightly behind you. Nice. And now take the chin back to center. Let the arms be hanging loose at your side. Now inhale, as you do, lift the arms up, nice and easy, looking upward towards the sky. If you'd like to lean forward slightly, feel free to do that and just reach and reach and reach. The arms reacting to the movement of the side body. So you might think about this idea of the rib cage moving side to side, And that lifts the shoulders, and that lifts the arms. Come to center, and now just take those arms into your cactus arms. Hold them here. See if you can lift the upper arms so they're nice and parallel. So if you straighten those arms like this, you start out with the arms parallel to the body, and then you just take an angle, make that nice 90-degree angle with your forearms. Twist over to the left, let your arms come down to the side. Hold on to the chair if you'd like. And we're just going to go side to side. Maybe first twist of the morning. So just go to your gentle edge. It's a good time to think about exploring, like where are you type this morning? Is it your usual place? Is it someplace different? And then try not to create a story. Try not to find the why of it. Just try to work with it. It may be that as you go, let's pause on this one side, wherever you are. And it may be that you can hold and breathe into that spot that feels tight. And then lift those arms, turn over to the other side. And again, maybe you breathe into any area that's tight. And come back to center. Let's bring a little movement in. So let's just roll the shoulder blades back and down. So we start with our shoulders down, separate or apart from the ears, shoulder blades reaching towards each other, palms are forward. We'll come into a little bit of a wave action. So hip hinge right here, come forward and up and down. So here is our ocean wave coming in and crashing down. Unlike storm waves, these are big waves, but they're not ferocious waves filled with fury. They're giving us energy. So we're scooping up any positive energy that's in our room that we share with each other, that's out there in the world, and we're just letting ourselves become a part of that. We're nurturing ourselves. Let's do this one more time, reaching forward, the wave, let it come down, and then just leave your hands on your shoulders. They may have crept up. See if you can bring them back down. I've, as always, creaking back in here. So as our elbows are down, you might lift them up just a little bit or not. You decide, and then you might, so they start out kind of here. You might take them back just a little bit, feeling that stretch in the pectoralis muscles. And then we're going to bring them forward, and then we'll open them up. You can decide how far open you want to bring them. Yes, getting some nice creaking, letting go in my shoulders this morning. And now we'll take and just circle those elbows. Great. Other direction. Great. And let's do one more. Lower those arms and bring your hands right back to where they were. Okay, let's do our side bends, and you can do them with your hands on your shoulders, or you can just do them with a lengthened arm. So we'll start by leaning over, bringing up the left hand and coming over, bringing up the right hand and coming over. And now let's pause as you lift your left arm. Just pause there, press down on that left hip. So you get a nice stretch in here. And now bring over the other side. And again, pressing down. Nice. And now kind of make sort of a pinwheel action. So we're coming side to side. We're keeping our backs aligned. So as if we're doing this against a mirrored wall, we're just sliding. All right, let's do 2 more. And here's 2. And here's 1. And here's bringing those arms down and then circle them right up, 5-pointed star, scissor the feet out. So we come into our 5-pointed star, greeting our day, accepting its challenges, accepting those serendipitous moments that are bound to happen in each day. Breathing fully, breathing with depth. One more inhale, stretch through those fingers, inhale, and then exhale, bringing our hands right down. Okay, so we've got our legs a little bit wider. Let's just scoot forward in our chair a little bit. They don't have to be as wide as mine. They can be around here. They can be wherever you're comfortable having your feet, but the feet are turned out. Hip hinging right here. This is where the leg bone, the femur, moves into the hip joint. This is where we want to bend from, like I was talking about last week. We want to take the whole torso and bend it forward as one. And that's why that's the significance of moving from the hip crease. Okay, what we don't want to do, in which we are accustomed to doing, is this. Okay, it can be a great stretch, but not for us, because we're in the years of osteoporosis, osteopenia, disc damage, disc beginning to move away, bulging. You know, I don't want to go on and make this into a horror story, but there's just a lot that can happen to the back. The straighter we can keep it, in fact, the more open we can keep it, the better it is for our backs. And our long-term abilities to, for instance, swivel, turn our heads as we're driving. So everything that I do that has to do with this is all about squeezing the shoulder blades together, which is the opposite of this, squeezing them together, and then opening the front body. So the vertebral bodies in the front, we want to keep those as open as possible. And it's, now I'll just say it's impossible to do it all the time. But with mindfulness and awareness, we can begin to think about that. Okay, so hip hinge forward, bringing either hands or elbows. So if your forearms don't come to your thighs, and to make them come, you have to, tip forward, then just keep yourself up in here. And actually, let us start with taking our hands to our inner thighs. And we're just going to spiral to one side and spiral to the other side. So it's not a tipping forward, it's a spiral of the upper body over. And you should be feeling some movement in your adductors as we do this. Okay, if you would like, and if you can come down and keep the torso long and straight, begin to shift to one side and shift to the other side. So it's like there's a beam, a light beam coming from your tailbone, up through your spine, neck, up through the crown of the head. And that stays on the same latitude as you go across. And it's on the wall, not on the floor, it's on the wall. All right, pause at one side, doesn't matter what side it is, finish the twist and make yourself long over this one leg. We keep our legs right where we are, great. And we come to the other side, press down into that foot and lengthen, and then come back up, roll those shoulders just a bit. And open, and then bring them back. Press the sternum forward, look up towards the sky. Nice. Inhale, bring those arms up, bring them together, bring them down so that you've got your
Forearms together, elbows touching if that's available today, palms touching. Oh, and just breathe into this. It's a terrific stretch right between the shoulder blades. Noticing that this has nothing to do with the spine whatsoever. We have our nice straight spine, and we're just stretching right between the shoulder blades. Breathe in and out of that. So a static movement like this, meaning that we're not moving any of the body, but it becomes dynamic through our breath. So as we're breathing in and out, you might feel that muscle between the shoulder blades expand and retract. Okay, inhale, reach up and release. The problem with me talking is that I keep us in poses too long. Okay, and come back out and hands down in your lap. All right, we're going to do our nice long stretch. So we're going to take our left leg, send it back. And actually, I need to come forward just a little bit more for comfort. Keeping this front one at a 90-degree angle. Reach forward. And let's just stay on this side. Come back and reach forward. And come back. This time when you reach forward, see if you can bring both arms up. And come back. And up. All right, let's go to the other side. 90-degree angle. Extend the right leg so you can feel that hip turning your body. And we're just going to reach out and come back and reach out. And if you'd like to use both arms, you'd reach out and back and out and back. Coming back to center. Tap everything. Tap those feet back together. Tap them apart. Tap them together. And tap them apart, right where we were before. We're going to do that same motion, but we're going to go side to side with it, deciding if you want to use both hands or one hand. I kind of like the one hand version of this. It just feels that like a really nice long stretch. So you decide if you want to take both arms up, totally up to you. And we'll do one more to each side. And come back, roll those shoulders, tap those feet, bring them together, bring them apart, and bring them together. And scoot yourself back in the chair. All right, taking the left leg, bringing it up towards you, either with hands in front or hands under. Hold it into your body. Other leg. I don't know why, but I like holding it in the front better. All right, back to the left leg. So either holding under with one hand or holding on top. We'll just open and close. Nice. And we'll take and circle it. Encouraging the release of synovial fluids in the joints. Another part of our aging process is the joints are not receiving the amount of synovial fluid that they were, and they need that to keep everything moving smoothly. Let's come to the other leg, to the right leg, bringing it up towards you, open and close. And circle. Other direction. So it's good to maintain activity, walking, biking, yoga, of course, Pilates, anything that keeps you moving. Oh, see, I'm talking again. And stop. And shake it up. Good. Scoot back in your chair, back to the chair, and just lift those arms nice and long. See if you can think about this idea of pressing the back towards the chair. Shoulders not here, shoulders here, arms straight up beside your ears. Press, now let's just press into the feet. Press into the feet, release, press, and release, press, and release. One more, press, release, and let the arms just come down into your lap. Inhale, and exhale. Coming forward again, and widening the stance. You could do toe heel if you'd like. Here's our cauldron. We're getting into the witching season here. Although it's warm and always doesn't really feel like total fall yet. And let's just concoct our delicious brew. I don't know about in your area, although Anna, Pat, you're up here, but everywhere you turn around these days, there's a brew pub and everybody's brewing specialty beers. And apparently when there's a new beer, another direction, when there's a new beer release, that's a big deal. It's a release party. And if you go, you get the latest brand of beer. There's a famous ice cream place on the way to Concord, Concord, New Hampshire, Johnson's Dairy Bar, and then pause, roll the shoulders. And they have now added a giant brew pub to the dairy bar. And I think, well, all right. But they really are everywhere. Inhale, raise the shoulders up and bring them down. Nice job. Scissor the feet back together. And then we'll come to standing using our technique. So we'll come to sit back in the chair. Nice. Think about those shoulders back, feet on the floor, 90-degree angle. Feel yourself grounded in the chair. Feel the feet on the floor. And now we're going to scoot forward. Reestablish the alignment of the ankles under the knees. Begin to hip hinge forward. We still are not rounding. We've still got our sternum forward. Our arms come forward. And as I mentioned last week, I've seen it done where you start to swing your arms and ready and up. So like that's another way to do it. And let's back up. Take the legs to the chair, hip hinge, send the buttocks backward, slow motion, press into the feet, control, sit back down. Great. And we'll come back up either with the swinging arms or without the swinging arms. Bringing those hands forward, leaning forward as you start to hip hinge, bringing your weight more forward, nose leads, and up we go. Open the arms wide. Great. All right. Coming near your chair, grabbing a little drink if you like. See if I did that. Okay. All right. We're going to take and start out. Actually, let's just start out with ourselves in standing mountain. So just recreating the alignment that we had in the chair. Your feet ground you to the earth. Your knees are right over your feet, hips over knees, shoulders over hips and back. Taking your hand so that it's about an inch behind your head and just pressing your head into the hand, just to give a sense of a deeper alignment. And you'll come to your breath and let this be a relaxed, static position. You've got a little bit of bend to your knees. We don't want to lock our legs. We want a little bend always in the knees.
See if you can relax again around the mouth. Now your chair is right here. I'm not sure we've done this in class before, but we leave the feet exactly where they are. The body remains completely aligned. I will give the image of kind of Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. So we're going to kind of lean slightly forward, lean slightly back. Consider this, the idea that a soft breeze has come into your room or is outside, and it's just gently moving you back and forth. So you keep all parts of your feet on the floor and you just change the weight distribution. As you're forward, it's more on the ball of the foot, the toes. As you come back, it's on the heels. Now do the same thing to the side. So you come out to the sides of your feet. You can have your hand right here as you do this, but again, we keep everything lined up. Now you can take it as if this breeze keeps changing directions and sending you in all sorts of different angles, as if you've got a clock, you've got a circle around you, and as you are being swayed, you're hitting like the 2 o'clock and you're hitting the 3 o'clock. And so you're just moving all around this clock in a random way. Good. It's a little trickier if you close your eyes. Remember, your chair is right there. So gentle edge, or the edge of, you can find out about whether you're a person who likes to take risks or a more cautious person, depending on how far out you go. And then just take yourself back into complete stillness, bringing yourself back to alignment. And take an inhale and exhale. So that little exercise there is just a reminder and an awareness of all the parts of your feet that hold you up. So you come out to the balls of the feet, you come back to the heels, you go to the side. So all those parts of the feet work together to hold us up. And we keep them aligned because this is our, I'm going to call it our second favorite way to be in balance. I like to think that our first favorite way is more this, wider stance. If you notice policemen, when they're in their, we don't do that, but when they're in their stance, it's like they're ready to go stance with their legs nice and wide. It's the most stable, position that we can be in. But this is how we stand. This is where we walk from. Okay. Let's take our right side, right hand, transfer the weight over, and then just take and lift your left leg up and just hold it up there. Breathing. Make sure you have a little bend in your right leg. And then take it down. And then take the right leg, lift it up. So again, feel all those parts of the feet that are holding your balance right now. Nice. And again, left side. Keep those sternum back, eyes straight ahead. And down. And other side. And back. Let's turn and face the chair. Starting with the hands on the chair, leave the left foot forward, take the right back. We're coming into the lunge. So when you take that right leg back, it slides straight back. Okay. The front leg automatically begins to bend a little bit. You keep the heel of the back leg on the floor. If you want to let go, fine, you can stay up like this. Or you can hip hinge, come forward a little bit for a lunge. You want to create a stretch in the calf and the Achilles tendon, which is why the heel is on the floor. You can be looking at your chair, you can be looking straight ahead. And then come up from that, switch legs. Take that back foot down, front knee bent. Making sure that when you look down at your front knee, your bent knee, you still see your toes. We don't want to be forward. We want to be more upright. And again, chair or just a little bit forward. And come back. And let's do a two-footed version of that and also get a back stretch in there by walking backwards, leaving both hands on the chair, walk back, retract the belly button up, bend into the knees, scoot your buttocks backwards, and get a real delicious stretch in your hamstrings. If this feels safe to you, you can then just come forward, leave your feet where they are, and let yourself lean forward slightly, keeping both heels on the floor. Coming back, hip hinge, come back, stretch out. And then come forward. I'm going to come away from the chair for now and just show you what this would look like if you were doing it against a wall. Okay, so starting with your hands here, you would come backwards, keeping the hands on the wall. Sorry, you have to see my buttocks. Maybe over here. Yeah, let me do it over here. Let's see it. Better. Yes. Okay. Hands are on the wall. You walk back. Then at the knees, send your back backwards. The exact same stretch, just against the wall instead of with a chair. Now you leave your feet exactly where they are. As you unhinge, walk up the wall and lean forward slightly. So it's a minor kind of a push-up. And then walk back, slide the hands down, stretch back into the buttocks. Give me a calf stretch and a hamstring stretch. Now walk forward, hands come up and forward. And come back, walk those hands down and come back to the chair. So just another way to do that back stretch. Okay, so now we have our left side to the chair. Bring your weight over to that left leg. We're going to take and do our hip circles, our infinity circles. So let's just start low. The knee comes in, the knee goes out. Nice bend. Knee, even the standing leg has a knee bend to it. Now you can take this bigger. You can take it up and around and up. So you bend more in the knee if you're taking it up and down and swirling in and out. Totally up to you. You can even keep it way down low like this. And let's pause it. 2 feet. Switch sides. Bring your weight to your right leg. Here we go. And now again, let's start small. And if you like, you can begin to make it bigger. Taking that hip back and up and down and back. Nice. And we'll do one more. And bring it down. Widen your stance. Hands on your hips, feet pointed forward. And we're going to circle our hips. We just did that nice circling stretch for them. They might feel a little bit tight right now. Loosen them up, other direction. Great, and come back up to standing. Okay, so we have our right side to the chair. Feet are somewhat apart. And give ourselves another hip stretch. So take the hips. We'll start by just moving them side to side. Find that comfy, that perfect spot for you, however distant your feet need to be, that you feel like you can sway back and forth with comfort. Now take the hips, have them stay outward, and then take the opposite arm, either bring it up to your shoulder or bring it all the way over. This is another one where you think about shoulder blades against the wall behind you. And come out of it, swish the arm in, move the hips in, and then swish out. Really stretching through the hip and the side body, swish it in, and swish it out. And release down. Reverse sides. Again, you're a bit of a distance from the chair. You've got a semi-wide stance. You've got a little bend in those knees. And you just want to think about hips are going to sway in and out. So keep hips out and away from the chair. Take the arm over. You can look up towards it. You can look center. And swish it in, hips go in and up. And swish and out. And swish it down. Pause, keeping your legs wide apart. Bend into the knees. Again, hands on hips. This time we're going to do pelvic tilt. Tuck the tailbone under. Take it back, tuck it under, and take it back. Nice. This is an exaggeration of normal movement. And again, we just want to keep everything fluid and moving. Strength, so much strength is in here. Core, right? And then all of those leg muscles come right up into the hip area. We got our massive glutes here in the back, which are strong, our quadricep muscles, our hamstring muscles, our adductor muscles, all seeking to keep our spine in alignment, and the hips as well. Okay, I think we've done enough of these. And back. And just shake everything out. Like we're jogging into town. Take the foot forward. Shake it out, other one, shake it out. Back and forth a little bit. Back to jog. Nice. Face our chair. Hands on the chair. We're going to lift our leg and bend the knee. Nice. And then just take it back, in, back, in. So we keep, again, see how there's a 90-degree angle there? We keep that angle. And one more. Lift and bring it down. Other leg. Bend the leg backwards. We've also got a flexion. You have a flexion in the foot, as if it could touch the back wall, the wall behind you. So you press back to the wall, come forward, press back. And we keep everything aligned. Nice. And let's do one more. Press it back, take it in, bring it down, shake it out. Inhale and exhale. Nice. And again, let's take our hands to our chair, walk backwards. Now that we've done the pelvic tilt, walking backwards, bend into the knees, maybe a couple of pelvic tilts right here. And then put your core, your lower spine in neutral. So you're not retracting the belly button all the way, but you're not moving the tailbone up either. If you're feeling comfortable here, you can take and begin to wag the tail side to side a little bit. Only if you're feeling secure in your low back. Bend a little bit more. Walk forward, come almost to the chair, and then come into this beautiful opening of the entire front body. Very slight back bend and come back to neutral. Super great. Okay. We can come back to seated. That will do it. And we're going to sit down in slow motion, hip hinge, buttocks back, arms forward, control, control, and down. Nice. Putting your low back, your back, mid back against the chair, taking and checking into your feet, number 11s. Inhale, exhale, shoulders down and back, nice, nice, nice. Take your arms together, your palms together, interlace, press it forward. So a nice little, like if we're like using a scale of 1 to 10, this press forward is maybe like a 4 and back. You just want to, what we're stretching out is these wrist tendons. You just want enough of a press forward to get that stretch, release and stretch. And we still want a bend to the elbows. Release, press in, holding on to that formation, or just something like that. And then just lift up as high as you can and still hold on to the palms. Palms facing front or palms facing up towards the ceiling. Press that low back into the low, press your low back into the chair back, nice. Open up, widen, turn the palms, and they come down and they come right to your lap. Inhale and exhale, feel that heat between your hands and your thighs. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple of chair lifts. So either holding on to the side of the chair or just keeping your hands right here. The important thing is to leave the legs in this 90-degree angle. So it's the core that's working. The quads will work too, but mostly we want the core to work. So ready, and lift both feet and down. And keep this distance right here between the knees and down. Lift and down. This one, lift, hold, keep breathing as you hold. Lifting up a little bit of heat. 3, 2, 1, down. Inhale, exhale. Exhale. We do it again with a hold, ready, and lift. Keep breathing as you're holding. 3, 2, 1, down. Nice. Take
Nice little loose fist and just tap on your quads. Tap on the side of your legs. Tap right above your knees, where all the tendons move from your muscles into your bones. 4 giant muscles come together into tendons and connect. Well, I say giant all the time. And what I mean by giant is as compared to, say, the muscles in your hand. So they call these muscles in your legs, hamstrings, gross muscles, because they're working muscles, and then they call the muscles in other places, like your fingers, your fine muscles. So fine motor skills, gross motor skills. So for instance, I am not a great crafter. That's fine motor skills. But my gross motor skills, as a young person, I played a lot of sport. So I had the gross motor skills, not so much the fine motor skills. So we're unique. We're just unique. Okay, inhale. And exhale. Let's do one more for the hips. So take and lift the left leg if it's available. Take and place it just above your knee on the right leg. If it's not, just placing it here. And you could even make this stretch, because what we want to get is the hip. You could take the leg, move it out, like that. If this is available, hang right here for a moment, maybe a little bit of a press onto the inner thigh. Maybe you take and bring your hands forward, hip hinging, nice straight spine. Yes, I feel that. May go forward just this much. Just adding a little bit of a stretch. Come back. And then go forward. Nice. And back, and then just rock side to side. And gently lift that leg up, place it down. Taking the right leg up, squeeze it in. And then take and put it on your thigh. And again, if your leg is more down here, you could take it out. So your body is facing forward, your torso is facing forward, but your legs have shifted slightly over to give you a stretch in the hip. And again, if you want to take and just give a little pressure. Nice. Taking the hands to the front of the leg. And maybe do a little hip hinge forward, leading with the sternum. And back. Any version of this is great to do if you just gone walking or running or any sort of activity like that, because it really targets the hip. And release. Nice. Widen this stance just a little bit. Circle. And other direction. Scissor the feet back together. Number 11s. Coming back to our seated mountain, the alignment of our seated mountain. Scoop those shoulders back. And take a couple of really nice inhales and exhales to feel yourself again, just the way we started, to feel yourself settle into the chair. Noticing feet on the floor. Noticing hands on your lap. Noticing the sensation of the chair supporting your body, both the thighs and the back. So you can relax the facial muscles. This is one way to have your hands. Another is up in an open pose. Another is right here, which can feel very comforting as you place the hands kind of against your belly. It's sort of a place to capture and hold energy. Let your breathing return to your natural inhale and exhale. A little bit of a space between upper and lower jaw. Seeking to maintain this idea of keeping as much outside stimulus from getting into your psyche and still keeping anything that you might have let go of at the beginning, keeping that at bay. It will be there. Maybe not as much of it, but it will be there. But holding on to this very moment, this present moment, this moment of quiet. And perhaps the sense of pleasure from having moved your body, from breathing, and giving yourself the opportunity to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself. Through movement, through exchange of CO2 and oxygen, perhaps feeling replenished, maybe even tired at the end of a yoga class, tired sometimes, energized sometimes. This is from a favorite song of mine by James Taylor. I'd sing it, but it's tricky. And it's called September Grass. It's one of his newer ones. Well, the sun's not so hot in the sky today, and you know I can see summertime slipping on away. A few more geese are gone, a few more leaves turning red, but the grass is as soft as a feather in a feather bed. So I'll be king and you'll be queen. Our kingdom's gonna be this little patch of green. Won't you lie down here right now in this September grass? Won't you lie down with me now, September grass? Take our hands together, join voices for an Om, inhale. The light in me honors and sees the light in each of you. May you find your patch of green September grass. Namaste.